or roof so officials know. Be patient. They might not be able to get to you yet. Post-storm, take pictures of any damage. Clean up as soon as possible to avoid mold. Wear protective clothing. And when you have time, replenish your readiness kits and prepare for the next one.
And again, that advice was for folks in the strike zone for them preparing how to get ready for the storm. We're not advising that you do that here, like filling up your bathtub or anything like that, because our impacts, there will be some, but we do think that they will be minimal. So here's what we're watching right now. Let's talk about what's happening here locally first, as we're tracking some showers and thunderstorms that are moving through. Not really related to Florence at all, but we've got a bit of an easterly component here, kind of the outlying effects of the storm that's helping to kind of push some of these showers in, but these are not really related to Florence at all. So let me show you here what we're watching. A few showers moving through the city of Atlanta as folks are leaving the city to head home. They'll hit some wet roads and a few of those spotty showers around. To the south here in parts of Clayton County, right on the Henry County line, we have a good area of rain along 675 and 75. That is moving to the west. A little thunder and lightning with that. Some pockets of heavy rain with it too. Also south and west of the city, we've been dealing with a few showers here through parts of Carroll County, and then elsewhere over North Georgia, a few showers on the Cobb-Fulton line into Cherokee County, northwest Georgia. To the east of us, things are actually looking pretty good at this hour too. In fact, here's a look at our tower cams. The clouds here over the city aren't looking as dark as they were a minute ago when we were tracking some of those showers moving through. And then here's a live look. This is in Cobb County as we're looking toward the west. Yeah, there are some clouds out there, but also some breaks in those clouds to give us some sunshine as well. Let's break down what's happening out there in the tropics right now. We've got a lot to watch. Not only Florence, there's also this system in the Gulf of Mexico that bears watching. It has a 70% chance of developing over the next couple of days. We also have High Isaac, Helene, and then Hello Joyce up here in the far northeastern Atlantic. It is going to stay away, but I just wanted to show you what's happening with that storm in case you wondered what happened to the J storm. But here's Florence right now, a little bit weaker today, not as strong at 120 mile an hour winds. The center of the storm now a little more than 600 miles away from the North Carolina coastline. You can see the hurricane warnings from the South Carolina coast up through the North Carolina coast. There you see 120 mile an hour winds moving northwest still pretty quickly at about 16 miles an hour. So here's the storm as it gets closer to land here. That's early on Friday as a Category 3. Now it may not make a direct hit into North Carolina. It may kind of skirt the coast and move down into South Carolina just inland, becoming a Category 1 storm on a Saturday evening there in South Carolina. And then the important part with the remnants that we have to watch, it looks like it'll be a depression Sunday evening just over the line into South Carolina, and then just an area of low pressure moving up into parts of Tennessee. This is close enough that it could bring some impacts to us. We do think that the tropical storm force winds will stay away. That would be along the North Carolina coast during the day Thursday and into Friday, those hurricane force winds there as well. But as this gets closer to us, the winds will die down a little bit. So here's a look at our impacts when you're talking about the winds. You can see here as we get into Monday, the yellows and blues showed up in East Georgia, showing 10 to 20 mile an hour winds with some higher gusts at times. And then also the rain totals are going to be higher over to the east. In Atlanta, we may see 1 to 2 inches of rain here, but the farther east you go to the Georgia-South Carolina line, that's where we could get some of those higher amounts, 2 to maybe even 5.